It's Home Invasion Nation. I'm John Phillips, and this is After Hours. An 80-year-old California man is under investigation because he walked in on robbers ransacking his house. After being body slammed, having his collarbone broken, he managed to get a gun. The two robbers ran, but he shot one, which was the woman. He shot her twice, killing her before she could get away, even though she pleaded with him not to kill her because she was pregnant. Let's go ahead and listen to the homeowner, Tom Greer, in his own words.
You have no regrets about this, do you?
None whatsoever. And I've never in my life shot anybody, killed anybody.
Yeah.
I'm a good Christian. I just, when the time comes to defend yourself, you best do something.
Yeah. And you have a message for anyone who's going to try to come after you again?
No, I don't think, I think he's gone because his girlfriend or his wife, she says, "Don't shoot me, I'm pregnant, I'm with a baby," and I shot her anyway.
No regrets?
No regrets.
And he's a dead ringer for Jimmy Stewart. Let's not forget that. For the record, the woman actually wasn't pregnant. She's a liar. I know that's hard to believe. And the mother of the male suspect was on lookout during the robbery. So they keep it all in the family. Then in New Mexico, MMA fighter Joseph Torres had 4 armed intruders burst into his home while his wife and his toddler were there. Torres ended up killing one of them and seriously injuring another. And in Orange County, California, a 14-year-old girl hid in a closet and called 911 when 2 men broke in. Let's go ahead and listen to the 911 call.
Should I go out?
Hold on just a second, okay? Just stay right there. I let them know what bedroom you're in, okay?
Okay. No, they just said wait right there.
If they didn't tell you to come out, don't come out.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, they're taking me outside.
Okay.
We don't know if charges are going to be filed against the 80-year-old. Charges will not be filed against the MMA fighter. And clearly no charges will be filed against the 14-year-old. But isn't it a shame that it's even being debated that charges could be filed against any of the victims? If someone is crazy or desperate enough to rob your house when you're home, in my mind, it's safe to assume that they're crazy and or desperate enough to kill you in the process. Therefore, while the criminal is on your property, if you think your life is in danger, you need to do what you need to do to protect yourself. Under these circumstances, I'm 110% deferential to the homeowner, and prosecutors should be too. Here to kick this around is the After Hours panel. She's the host of the Tammy Bruce radio show, which you can get online at tammybruce.com. Tammy Bruce. He's a very fair-minded civil rights defense attorney who can get at clearthecourt.com. Mr. Leo Terrell, and he's the PJTV contributor from his home studio in the great state of Texas, Mr. Scott Ott. Scott, we'll start with you since you're in Texas where everybody has a gun. To me, if you're at home and someone breaks in, and I've had a cat burglar in my home, it's frightening. You can't sleep well for years after it happens. It sticks with you, especially if you're there with your kids, you're there with your spouse. It's a very dangerous situation. Isn't it safe to assume that if they're in your house, they're willing to go that far, they're also willing to kill you?
Absolutely, and I think it's just sort of ironic that it's mostly the people on the left who are making this case that you shouldn't be allowed to defend yourself in that situation. People on the left who have made an entire career out of claiming that the very reason you exist is just a result of the survival of the fittest, that there was some great battle and somehow we've triumphed and our species persists. And now they would have you disable your ability to compete effectively against, in this case, a creature that is more powerful than yourself. That is despicable, and I don't care what anybody says. When you come into my house, you have violated my castle, you have violated my family, and you will pay the price as I am able to dole it out.
All right, give me a fair-minded take on this.
I'm shocked at Scott, and I'm going to try to get you down from 110% sure to down to 0. This old 80-year-old man is a murderer. Let's be very clear on the facts. That woman left his home. She was in flight. There's a law in this country. That's what makes us different, because we're not vigilantes. That lady was out of his house and she was escaping. She was no longer a danger or threat.
People could shoot when they're running away.
I got news for you. No,
She lied about being pregnant.
You, by your own admission, she had her back turned. She was shot in the back. And if we don't prosecute this 80-year-old man, not put him in jail, but if we don't prosecute this 80-year-old man, we are telling the nation, you can shoot even if you're not threatened. He says he's a good Christian. He should be forgiving. He's wrong.
Tammy, I don't think you agree with Leo on this.
Please, please.
When we
please.
have arguments about when you can kill someone in your house, I usually win. Now, look, and also if you just want to put him on trial but not put him in jail, so Leo just wants to torch you a little bit, not completely. No, look, in this case, and there are times, and one of our last arguments about this was somebody killed somebody in their home. I thought that that was murder. Here you've got an 80-some-year-old guy. His collarbone's already been broken. He's already been attacked. That is a life-threatening injury when you're 80. Maybe it wouldn't be for us. I would be crying in a corner somewhere if my collarbone was broken. So this man clearly remains in a life-threatening situation. She was still on his property. She has things called knees and ankles and feet. She can turn around and return. This was not the first time that they apparently had targeted.
Third time.
This is the third time they had targeted his house. When you put the combination together, you have a man who may die. At that point, he maybe figures he's going to die also. That you've got repeated offenders. They continue to threaten him. This time he is maybe mortally wounded, and he did what he
And
wanted.
they were also trying to get his guns. They were going to the safe to get his
Let me replay
guns.
what you just played. Oh, she pled for her life. Oh, I'm dying. I shot her anyway. Did that sound like a man
She
who...
didn't say those things, Mr. Attorney.
No. She said,
No,
please
he
don't
didn't say-
shoot me. I'm pregnant. And he said, I shot her anyway. Did that sound like a man who was threatened?
It
Come
sounds
on.
like a man who
did to
had
me.
enough. It sounds like a man who had clearly reached a tipping point after everything he'd been through. A man who had been clearly injured, a man who had had enough and was going to defend his life.
You don't have vigilante justice in this country. That's what
She
makes
was in
us
his
different. No, please.
There was a fight.
In this case here, it's
Leo.
important to know, this woman was in flight. In flight means she was leaving the premise.
No, she was looking maybe for another place to hide.
Maybe looking for a gun.
She's looking for a gun, trying to get to
No.
the kitchen for a knife.
All right, Scott, if somebody comes into your house and they break your bones and they body slam you, is it safe to assume that they are a physical threat, that they could come back, even if they are running away, that they have a gun on them or a knife on them, or maybe if there's two of them, there might be three. We now know there was a third who was on lookout. Maybe there was a third who could come up from behind. You never know what's going to happen
Leave
when you
for
have
an
a
hour and
situation
come
like this
back.
developing, do you?
Yeah, well, this is what makes my friend Leo Terrell's assertion risible, as we would say.
That's a big word.
Big word.
She was in flight. She was in flight. Oh, yes, I'm sure she repented of her sins, and out of contrition, she ran from the house and said, "What have I done? I have spilled innocent blood, or at least broken innocent collarbones." Well, you don't know whether that was a tactical retreat. You have no idea what was happening in that situation. And that guy has the right to dole out immediate justice when the sanctity of his home and of his person has been violated. And that will send a very clear message to the next person who's thinking, you know what, I think I'm going to break into that geezer's house.
I got news for you. That message sent, he had the right to kill her. He's a murderer. Let me be very clear about that.
Okay, Leo,
Yes.
you've tried many cases in
Yes.
Los Angeles County. If you were the prosecutor in this case, could
Yes.
you expect to get this guy jail time from an LA jury?
No, he has to be convicted, though. And I'll tell you why. If you don't, you're entitling people to go out and run after bad people and shoot them. You can't do, even officers can't do that. Officers cannot shoot someone
wasn't
in
chasing
flight.
her down the
and flight is
street.
very clear. Oh, come on, Scott. Seriously, this is
Come
dangerous.
on.
When
He
you're
didn't
in the
just
house,
see
I
some
would have no argument.
bad-looking person going down the street, and then he ran after her and said, "Hey, I'm going to kill you for no good reason."
She was on the
he
ground. She had
he was
already been
shooting at
shot
her
twice.
as she was involved in a crime.
I don't dispute the crime, but we're better than that. We don't kill people when they're defenseless.
Maybe you're better than
the
that,
one was
but I
defenseless.
certainly am not.
I'm better than that.
Why is it that we have sympathy for people who are breaking the law? To me, if something bad happens to you when you're in the commission of a crime, whatever happens to you happens to you.
Look, especially now that we are in a, and not that these are excuses, but I think this goes on in our minds. We're in a bad economic situation. People are desperate. We're a nation also, we like to give people a second chance. You know, we like underdogs. We believe we can become better people. I think it's part of the Christian Judeo ethic.
Thank you.
And so we believe that this can happen. And so we do give people second, third, fourth chances. It's in our nature, but not at the expense of people being murdered and dying. But this is why we tend to be that kind of a fair society.
Hey, Mr. Phillips said, you get what you deserve on the punishment. I'm taking you to China and Singapore. You're going to like the way they punishment fit the crime. They're outrageous.
Why should anyone
I'll bring
give
the
these
bamboo
people
tomorrow.
Thank you.
the
Bring
benefit
it.
of the doubt? Why
Pardon?
should anyone give them the benefit of the doubt? They lied. She lied about being pregnant. They burglarized the house 3 times.
I
They were
just
trying to
gave
get
you
his
the
gun.
They've
example.
already
Tammy
heard
said
him.
it. We give people second chances. We're not China. We're not
when
Singapore.
they're not trying to kill you.
Yeah, we
I mean,
give
this
people
is,
second chances, and now this old man got a second chance thanks to his use of his own self-defense weapon.
in this instance, the right person gets the second
All
chance.
right, let's go around the horn. Give me predictions. Does this guy get charged for murder?
No.
Yes. He gets charged for manslaughter.
Oh, well, that's
gets
different.
charged.
What happens? What does the jury do?
I think the jury should convict. Will they convict? I don't know. But he should be charged. The DA has to charge him.
Was she physically on his property when
Yes.
he shot? Then no.
On the ground.
Who cares? On the property.
Down.
I say no.
Scott?
Wait, I'm taking a phone call right now. Leo, it's the guy. It's the old man. He wants you to represent him. Will you take the call?
Forget it. You guys believe it. Come on, Scott. Please.
All right, Scott, what is it? Yes or no?
I don't know. What do you think? Do I look like an attorney? Look at Leo and look at me. Is there
You've had
any
every other
similarity
job
at all
on the
between
planet.
the two
Why
of us?
not attorney, too?
I convinced him. He's changed. He's waffling. He has to give an answer.
This would be one time I wouldn't mind being on a jury. So we'll see what happens.
Me too.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't go to court.
No?
Okay.
I say no, too.
No.
So
All right,
3
we'll
against
see.
1, Leo.
We'll see.
You could be right,
Oh, please, DA.
but I don't think you will be. All right, Leo Terrell, the fair-minded civil rights defense attorney. You can get him at clearthecourt.com. Tammy Bruce, whose radio show is available at tammybruce.com, and Scott Ott, whose political satire books are available at amazon.com. If you want to register your opinion, you can do so in the comment section below. Although I think, Leo, they're going to side with us on this one. Just a hunch. For After Hours, I'm John Phillips. Thanks for watching.